Hello everyone, my name is Volshan, also known as James in game, and today we are ranking the classic races' racial abilities. First, just wanted to give a shout out to Exit Lag. If you don't like having connection issues and getting some real solid FPS increases, go take a look at the link in the description. So, moving on to our first racial. So, first we have Command. So, this is an extra 5% damage to Hunter and Warlock pets. Uh, an extra 5% damage, and it's from Orc. I gotta put this in S tier. Just any base increase to damage with no fall off. That's an S tier if I've ever heard one. So next is Shadow Resistance. I feel like any resistance is gonna go directly into A tier, something that you don't need to build into, just something to have. Uh, I feel like is just straight up gonna go directly into A tier. Now, there's not a lot of times that you come across Shadow in raids that I can really think of until maybe Encourage. I think maybe Cthulhu does shadow damage, but uh, even then, it's just good to have, honestly. So we now have 25% chance to resist stun effects. That's for PvP, that's S tier. For PvE, I'd say A tier. If you're a tank in PvE, that's obviously S tier. So if there was like a ranking between A and S, I would put this like right in there, but we're gonna put it at the top of A tier. That's good. Next is Diplomacy. That's an S tier. Plus 10% to rep. Come on, man. That's solid. That's great. Are you kidding me? Okay, so now we have Blood Fury. I'm gonna put this in A tier. It's 25% increase to your damage, but it is minus, I think, 50% to your healing for 25 seconds. So I'm going to put that in A tier. I wouldn't use this if you were a tank, per se, depending on if you're off tank, main tank, depends. For DPS, though, that is easy S tier. Just don't take damage, use your defensives, whatever you gotta do. Alright, so next we have endurance. This is 5% overall to health. This is for the Tauren. I'm gonna put this in S tier. Again, it's just a base overall buff, which is just amazing. Now this is going to be specifically for PvE. I will mention a little bit of PvP, but not much. I'm gonna put Will of the Forsaken in B tier. It blocks Charm, Fear, and Sleep for 5 seconds, which is, it's good. But I'm still gonna put it in B tier. It's not the greatest thing on the planet, but it's obviously not the worst. It's a pretty solid it's a pretty solid racial, but very, very specific timing on when you can use it. But when you can, very good. Next is the Dwarf Stone Form. This I'm putting into S tier for tanking. Cancels out bleed, poison, and disease, and gives you 10% to armor for 8 seconds. So that is it's just solid, honestly. So next we have Expansive Mind. This is base 5% to intelligence. So great for any mage, any priest, anything that has a mana pool. Just getting to increase your mana pool by 5%. Great. Pretty much always. Then we have sword specialization. This is +5 to skill with sword and two-handed. Sorry, with one-handed sword and two-handed sword. This is gonna be S tier. I think it also reduces glancing blows, if I'm not mistaken. So that's easy S tier. Same thing with axe specialization. Which, I mean, you kind of can't go wrong with them, honestly. This one is quickness. Again, it's base increase to dodge. Great for tanking. And I would assume pretty good for PvP. Then we have War Stomp. I would put War Stomp in A tier. It's really good. Especially if you use it as like an interrupt. And it works for about 25 feet, 2-second stun. I would say more as an interrupt than anything. So if we're counting it as an interrupt in that way, I'm putting it in S tier. It's going in S tier. Who am I kidding? It's just great, honestly. Then we have 5% increase to spirit for humans. Again, the base increase ones, they're automatically going in S tier. Same thing with mace specialization. Same thing with gun specialization, bow specialization. All of those are just guaranteed. Anything that just base increases are just going to be solid. Some of you may disagree, and that is fine. And then we have regeneration. Health regeneration rate increased by 10%. 10% of total health regeneration may continue during combat. S tier. Easy S tier. Then we have Frost, which is going to be A tier. Any increase to resistances automatically going to A tier. Shadow Meld, I'm putting Shadow Meld in D. It's really good in PvP. I used to use it a ton back in the day on my Feral Druid just to get a free re-stealth. I would basically use it as like Vanish. But overall, I would say that it is going into D tier. In open world cannibalism, it's good for the open world. But it has to be humanoid. And at this point, who doesn't have enough gold to just have food around? It's kind of a meh ability. Plus 15 to herbalism with cultivation for Taurens. It's a C tier. Just plus 15 isn't insane, and it's all right. Same thing with engineering specialization, which is obviously just plus 15 to the engineering skill. Which, I mean, it works. Now we have berserkering. So berserkering increases your casting and attack speed by 10 to 30%. At full health, the speed increase is 10%, with a greater effect up to 30% if you are badly hurt when you activate berserkering, and it lasts for 10 seconds. Now, in raid and dungeons, this can be really good, but it's not often that you as a DPS should be getting low. So I'm gonna put it in A tier because even at 10%, that's really good. At 30%, that's S. But I would say A tier overall because of that. Now next we have Wisp Spirit. That's an F tier. Don't die. Just don't die. And you don't have to worry about it. You know what I'm saying? Alright. So next we have Escape Artist. S tier for PvP. B tier for PvE. This is mainly for raids and dungeons. But for open world, A tier. For dungeons, raids, B tier. Now, next we have Nature Resistance. These are both going into A tier because there are 2 classes with Nature Resistance, both being Night Elf and Tauren. And then we have Throwing Weapon. So, Throwing Weapon, I hesitate to put into S tier, because there's like at least bows and guns have hunters who use them primarily. For Throwing Weapon, I mean, you have... Is that Throwing Weapon? Hold on, am I tripping? I'm pretty sure it's throwing. Yeah, that's throwing. Skill with Throwing Weapon increased by 5. I mean, for Rogue, it's really good. But as a person who is not a Rogue main, I didn't really find myself using Throwing Weapon a lot. So if you disagree, please let me know down in the comments. I would love, honestly, to know. Now we have Beast Slaying. So this is damage dealt versus beasts specifically, increased by 5%. I'll put this in B tier. The reasoning is it's only against beasts, but it is a 5% increase, which is really good. So, you know. Now we have Perception. It is a increase to stealth detection, and again, this is for dungeons and raids mainly. That's F tier. That is an F tier. Then we have Arcane Resistance. F tier for the Dwarven Find Treasure. It just displays treasure on your minimap. This is a completed game. Just look up a guide. And then we have Underwater Breathing for the undead. So the reason I'm putting this in at the bottom of F tier is because of the fact that Ascension, basically anytime you log in, you pretty much already have this racial. So this is basically just like a null and void on here. So that is all of the racials. If you disagree with this video, that is completely fine. And to the guy who's been complaining about me doing like SS plus, whatever, here you go. I used F and all that stuff for you there, buddy. So let me know what you guys think. If this is a fair idea for all of these classes, or I'm sorry, for all these racials, let me know. And if you don't like it, sorry, I don't know what to tell you. So I will see you guys all in the next video, and have a good time. Goodbye.